What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hard Park 703 channel. I just picked up something pretty epic for this car. It's probably really limited, and I just customized it even more, so then that way there's not going to be another product looking like this one. So before I hype it up anymore, let me show you and let me tell you what it is. Presenting the Nitrous Express supercharger lid for my C7 Z06. Check it out. Oh, this thing is sexy. All right, so it's like a satin black, superb craftsmanship. Like Nitrous Express, you are epic. It comes all black. No writing anything. Their old design apparently was like split down the middle. So it was like one plate and then it dipped down and then another plate. So this one's just nice, flat and solid. It comes with nitrous or meth ports for that matter. I think that's what, yeah. So if you want to go that route later, I don't plan on doing that right now, but I did want a different supercharger lid. So let's go over some of the things of why. Okay, so apparently this thing does there's a couple benefits to it. One, it holds more volume. It's like a little bit bigger than the 17 plus supercharger lid. So I guess it can make the same amount of power on less PSI, if I'm correct. Also, it aids in cooling, and cooling is going to be a big factor, especially once you start upgrading the pulley. The pulleys, like the upper and lower pulleys and whatnot. So, you don't want to be robbed of power and stuff. So I guess, start, the cooling process now or whatever, upgrading the cooling now. So why not? So that's two right there. So make same power with less PSI. It aids in cooling. And then apparently the supercharger whine is insane with this thing. You can't really hear the supercharger whine with the stock lid. But with this thing, I saw some of the videos on YouTube, and that was really, really, really loud. Especially apparently if you take the weather stripping off, it gets even louder. But I'm probably not going to do that just because I wash the car so much. I don't want water getting into the bay every single time I wash down the windshield. But yeah, so the supercharger whine with the Nitrous Express lid is supposed to be just, whoa, ridiculous. I can't wait to hear it because that's what this car lacks. It's got like crazy, super loud exhaust sound, but you don't really hear the supercharger whine. And then with like Dodge, on the other hand, you hear a really crazy loud whine, and then their exhausts are a little bit toned down. I know they're loud, but they're still relatively like toned down, so I'm saying it's like the opposite. But yeah, it bolts up exactly in all the spots where the stock lid bolts up to. So we'll open this up. So there, and then that's the old one. So yeah, so it's gonna go all around. Obviously, it matches up perfectly. I already tried to install this thing on my own. These are not 10s. I don't know what they are. They're not 8s. They're not 10s. And they're not 9 or whatever. And they're not like 7/16s. I tried putting 7/16s on here, and it didn't work. And so I don't have the tool. So I'm just going to have these installed at GT Peace Automotive because they're already going to be doing the headers. And so since they're going to be doing the headers, I mean, look, they're going to be reaching right here, whatever. It's right here. So all they got to do is just swap this thing out too. And so if you're going to do it yourself, you're also going to have to probably like move this piece to get to those bolts back there. But anyways, I tried doing it myself, didn't work. So I'm just going to have them swap it out. All right. So now on to the coolest part of all, which is the decal that I put on. I did that. I did all the measurements. I did all the work. And now we're going to talk about that, okay? Because I'm really proud of it. All right. So anyways, since it was all black, I mean, that's cool and everything, but I wanted some like cool appearance in the engine bay, especially like when I popped the hood. So I ended up getting one of these really big Jake skull decals. So then that way it kind of looks like, like when you look at it in there, it'll look almost kind of like OEM, like as if it was like a GM part, especially with the logo, and so I got it cut out. I think it's like 15 inches or something like that. And obviously it was just a tad bit too big. So I had to significantly heat it up, so then that way it would fold into these holes, you know, and then I mean it worked beautifully. And yeah, like, I mean, it came out perfect. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this isn't, you know, I'm always pessimistic, and then everything turns out okay, so I'm lucky. But yeah, so I got it in gold, and man, it just makes this thing pop. It just pops so much in this lighting, and I can only imagine in sunlight. So yeah, that's my story. All right, for this. So we're gonna take this thing on over to GTP's. They're gonna put it on, and then that way I'll show you guys exactly what it looks like in the engine bay. All right. So this is billet. Yeah. Right. Billet, and then that is cast. Cast okay. Iron. We're not iron. Cast. So much better. Nitrous Express. Yep. All right, so all we had to do was take off the gaskets from the old one and then put them on the new one. I know the instructions usually say like use new gaskets, but I mean this thing has very low mileage and the gaskets are brand new, so we just put them under there, and now bolting it up to the correct torque specs, and that'll be that. Man, that thing looks awesome. Almost looks like it's OEM. Just, man, just beautiful, beautiful. So we're gonna take it a step further, and we're probably just gonna go ahead and put sealant around the nitrous ports, so then that way it creates better seal, so obviously it doesn't leak with all the pressure being built up, and then also so then those fittings don't back themselves out. Go ahead and go again. Go again. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh man. All right, so the supercharger lid was a really straightforward install. It went on there pretty easily. I'd say probably like total of 10 minutes to take the old one off and put the new Nitrous Express one on. The old gaskets went on perfectly. They looked fine. They looked brand new. So I used them, so you don't necessarily have to get new ones. If you want to, go for it. And also we put the sealant on the nitrous ports, so that's something to think about as well if you guys are going to go the route of buying this supercharger lid. Yeah, the supercharger whine was nuts. That's really, really loud. Even in the video, I don't even think the videos never do it justice, so I'm just going to say once again, the video doesn't do it justice. When I closed the hood, I did notice it was a little bit quieter, obviously, and that's also due to the weather strip on the back. So I mean, you could take the weather strip off and you'd probably have a louder sound, but I'm not gonna take the weather strip off because I wash the car so often. I don't want any type of debris or water getting in there unless I'm hosing it down specifically, you know, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's something to know. But trust me, it's really loud. And also, I haven't even driven the car yet. So under load, it's probably going to be even louder, even with the hood closed. So I'm eager to hear that. Also, you'll notice that the vehicle is not behind me because it's still at the shop. I'm getting the headers done at the same time. So I wanted to make the video for the supercharger lid and then a separate one for the header. So that's still going on. Maybe by tomorrow it'll be done. I'll get into that. All right, if you guys like this video, go ahead and click that like button, hit subscribe, and like I said, some pretty wild things are getting done, so I'm not done yet, so just stay tuned.